All right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So for today's Fit Crew workout, we are kicking it up a notch here, especially with the mental challenge. We've got an ascending ladder for you here. We're going to be doing 10, 20, then 30 reps of thrusters and bar-facing burpees. And we may be looking at this thinking, man, the rep scheme going up, that is really challenging. Why can't we just go down? Well, don't worry, guys. We've got our reasons. And as always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm up. Here we go, guys. Let's get some arm circles going back, arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I'm a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years helping many people just like you live their best life through health and fitness. Let's switch to arm circles forward. And let's get to know our Fit Crew a little bit better. How long have you been doing this program and how has it helped you? That's what we want to know from you as we continue to warm up. Let's move on to arms across the chest. Hug yourself, love yourself. And let's hear first from Twin One. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, how long have you been doing this program, and how has it helped you?
I'm Denise in New York. I've been doing this program since I think April or May of 2020. And it definitely has helped me all around, like emotionally, physically. My health has gotten better and I've been consistent. It's hard to stick to programs. This program really makes sure you succeed. So I really, really like it.
And we really appreciate your great example with it. So thank you so much, Twin One. Let's go ahead and move on to some high knees into the chest, or if it works better, we could do some high elbows like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from DNA. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, how long have you been doing this program, and how has it helped you?
Hi, it's Dean and Anita from London, England. So we've been doing the programs similar time as Twin One, some April 2020, and it's really helped us as we've got older to keep fit and keep our energy levels up.
Most definitely. So thank you guys for your great example in the program as well. And let's go ahead and move on to the wrist wave. And while we're doing the wrist wave, Anita thought she would get out of it, but let's hear from Anita now. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from. How has this program helped you, Anita?
So hello everybody. I'm the part of DNA from England, London, and this program really helped me. I have been through a lot of health issues in the past 2 years, and I feel like it helped me a lot to get back, trying to get back to myself. Whenever I had a setback, I could always come back to it, and I could work on my strengths. I can try to go back to it. So I think it really helped me to keep going.
And as you keep going, you keep us going. So thank you so much for your great example, Anita, fighting through this program, fighting for your health, and showing respect for the gift of life. And let's go ahead and move on to some calf raises. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or if it works better, we can do some wrist extensions like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Beatriz. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from. How long have you been doing this program, and how has it helped you?
Mi nombre es Beatriz, vivo en Santiago de los Caballeros, República Dominicana. Tengo 3 años y 10 meses en el programa y me ha ayudado a sinceridad en todos los aspectos de mi vida, en sentido emocional, mental, físico, y mi salud se ha mejorado bastante. Aparte del programa de hacer los ejercicios también, las otras cosas incluidas, por ejemplo, los buenos hábitos, todo eso me ha ayudado en todo sentido de mi vida. De verdad, a sinceridad, mi salud se ha mejorado bastante desde que empecé en ese programa. Muchas gracias, Coach, por el programa.
Muchas gracias, Beatriz, for your great example and for encouraging us to be dedicated and consistent. Let's go ahead and move on to some jumping jacks, or we could do stepping jacks if we want low impact. So some of you have been doing this program for a while, maybe wondering, hey, I've been seeing some great results. How do I support this? How do I keep this going? The best way is going to be just keep following this program, keep sharing your results with others, inviting others to do the program with you. And many have chosen to support by getting on track. And when you get on track, you get access to the full program, which will get you the full results that you're signed up for here in Fit Crew. So if this sounds interesting to you, please click that link that's in this video, or feel free to message me directly for details. Let's take a break from this warm-up, guys, and we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. The first thing we're going to do is the pigeon, and let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate the pigeon for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the pigeon is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's sink into the pigeon on this side. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying face down. We've got the one leg up and across the chest. Other leg is back. And we are sinking into this pose here, which opens up the hips and helps us to improve our squat positioning. And let's go ahead and switch legs here. Let's get the other leg up and across the chest, other leg back. And this pigeon is one of the most important activations that we do in this program. It activates the glutes. It relieves issues that might be going on with the IT band. And as previously mentioned, it helps us to improve our squat mobility. We always talk about chest up, shoulders back, knees out to the side. And that's actively what we are improving here in the pigeon. Next, we're going to do some walk the floors. Let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate one walk the floor for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the walk the floor is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 walk the floors together. Now on that walk the floor, we are starting from a fully standing position and we are reaching down, touching those toes, going all the way out, getting that chest on the ground, walking those hands back to the feet, and then reaching back at the top. Now, it could be that getting all the way down is a challenge here, in which case we could do the walk the floor just down to the plank. Let's have Twin One demonstrate just down to the plank, and then we walk that back. Or we could even do this off of an incline, such as off a sofa, off a counter. We start with our feet up against the object, then we take a couple steps back, then a couple steps forward, and then we clap overhead. But good job here on these walk the floors, whether we're doing it all the way down or down to the plank position. Next, we're going to do some air squats. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 air squats for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then air squats are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 air squats together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're going to start with those feet shoulder width apart. we're going to initiate by sending those hips back and down, pushing the knees out to the side throughout the movement until we get those hips all the way down below the knees. And then we are driving through the feet until we get back up to a fully standing, locked out position up top. Now, it could be that getting those hips all the way down below the knees is a challenge, in which case we can do some assisted squats. So we could do this to a chair or to a footstool or to a medicine ball. With time and with consistency, we can use lower and lower targets for assistance until we can eventually get all the way down, hips below the knees. But good job on these air squats. Next, what I'd like everyone to do is let's go ahead and grab a broomstick or a mop or a PVC pipe. We always warm up super light before we go heavy. Plus, we're going to do some extra shoulder mobility. So we want nothing heavier than a broomstick for now. And so to demonstrate the pass-through, let's go ahead and have Anita demonstrate 2 pass-throughs for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the pass-through is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 pass-throughs together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We've got a nice wide grip on that broomstick, and we are pulling it up and over all the way around, touching that lower back in the back, belly button in the front, and we're having a nice pass-through smile, which relaxes those muscles and helps us to have a fluid range of motion. And so good job here on these pass-throughs. Next, we're going to do some deadlifts, and let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 deadlifts for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the deadlifts are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 deadlifts together. So a couple things to keep in mind. At the start of the deadlift, we're going to have that broomstick down by the ankles. The feet are going to be close together underneath the hips, and we're going to have the chest up and shoulders back. And we're going to take a deep breath in, brace that core as we drive the ground away, getting those shoulders back at the top. And then, of course, we're going to brace the core on the way back down as well, keeping that broomstick close to the body. And so good job here on these deadlifts. Next, we're going to do some front squats. And let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 front squats for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the front squat for today is going to be a hang power clean like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 front squats together. So a couple things to keep in mind on that front squat. It's going to start very similarly as the air squat. We've got the feet shoulder width apart, and we're standing at a fully standing locked out position. But we've also got the broomstick in what's called the rack position. So on the shoulders, and we've got those elbows pointing forward and up. And we're going to initiate by sending those hips back and down, pushing the knees out to the side. And then especially on the way back up, we want to fight to keep those elbows close together and pointed up. And so good job here on these front squats. And finally, here in the activation phase, we're going to do some strict press. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 strict press for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together. So on the strict press, we're going to have those hands on that broomstick right outside the shoulders. And we're going to have those elbows nice and up. And we're going to take a deep breath in, pressing those arms back as we press the head through in order to make sure that that bar locks out right over the center of the body overhead. And so good job here on this strict press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 2 moves that we're doing in today's workout. The first move is the thruster. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 thrusters for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the thruster is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the thruster together. So a couple things to keep in mind. This thruster is a combination of that front squat into that press. So we're starting with the feet shoulder width apart, getting those hips all the way down below the knees, and then driving hard with the legs coming out of that squat into that press. And we're pressing those arms back as we press the head through. And a couple tips that are going to help us to hit big sets of thrusters is to control our breathing. So deep breath in before the rep, breathe out at the top. And we want to make sure that we have nice big breaths every single rep there. Now, if we were doing those assisted squats earlier, then we can continue to do some assisted thrusters here. We can sit to a chair, stand, and then press it out at the top, using whatever target for assistance is needed. So good job here on these thrusters. The second move that we are doing in today's workout is the bar facing burpee. And to demonstrate, let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 bar facing burpees for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then if you're in a chair that swivels, what I'd like you to do is to do your first rep facing left, hit that burpee, and then we can turn to the right, hit that second rep. But if we're not in a chair that swivels, then that's fine. We can just do traditional seated variation of the burpee for today. So let's everyone join in and let's do 6 bar facing burpees. Now, it could be that our space doesn't allow us to do the bar facing burpee version, in which case, if we need to do lateral over the bar burpees, that's fine. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate here a lateral over the bar burpee where we are sideways with the bar, and then we can hop and step over the bar. Or it could be that we need to modify the burpee movement itself. So we could either do the burpee down to the plank, getting our hands down and either jumping and stepping back to a plank position and then hopping over that bar. Or it could be that we need to do the burpee off of an incline and On the incline, we would have our feet up against an inclined surface, such as a counter or a sofa. Then we take a couple steps back. Optionally, we can include a push-up, getting that chest to touch, and then step back and clap overhead. And these would be the incline version for today. But no matter what version we're doing, let's get a couple more practice reps in. Good job on these burpees. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been doing this program long enough to earn your first badge, and you like to start adding some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight for today's workout, then here's a tip that'll help us to finish within today's target window. We are looking for a weight on the thruster that you could do that first round of 10 unbroken. And maybe we break up the rounds of 20 and 30 as needed. So what's a weight that I can do at least 10 thrusters in a row? Let's gradually build to that weight, doing about 3 to 5 practice reps at a time, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for our division today. But if we have not been earning badges, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, we are not adding any weight today. This broomstick is going to be more than enough for us. Seriously, it's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all our habits, as evidenced by earning that badge, before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. Let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important, especially today. We want some music that's going to keep us mentally motivated to get through these ascending rounds. So, what music motivates you? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 3-round workout. The reps are going up each round. It's easy to lose track of where we are. So let's have some type of system in place to make sure that we know where we are without getting lost. Something that helps with that is having the workout written down close by. So if you're a teacher's pet like Mighty Mouse, first to the screen with the workout and the scorecard, Beatrice, very close second place with the big old whiteboard award. We've got Team DNA with Dean's signature pretty handwriting on the board there. And then we've also got Twin 1 with the multiple color award. Let's go ahead and take a teacher's pet picture here just to show how prepared you are. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time here, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this workout, which is 10, 20, 30 reps of thrusters and bar-facing burpees. Specifically, we're doing 10 thrusters, then 10 bar-facing burpees, followed by 20 thrusters and 20 bar-facing burpees, and then 30 thrusters and 30 bar-facing burpees. So if we've been earning badges and we're adding weight, let's remember that today that rep scheme is going up, and we want to make sure that we've picked a good weight that'll help us to get at least a good set of 10 out the gate without putting it down. And then even on the other rounds, we're still able to hit big sets of those thrusters without stopping. And let's pick the version of the burpee that's good for us. Let's remember that we can mix and match as needed in order to keep moving at a pretty good pace. So your score today is going to be the time it takes you to get through these 3 rounds of ascending reps of thrusters and bar-facing burpees. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here, and I'll get us started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown, and then I'm going to highlight twin 1 to get us going. So here we go, guys. 10 thrusters, 10 bar-facing burpees, then 20 of each, then 30 of each. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these thrusters. Getting all the way down, then all the way up. And let's remember to control our breathing on these thrusters. Big breath before each rep. Breathe out at the top. That big breath each time is going to help us to get through big sets without having to put that bar down. And we're looking to get through all 10 in this first round without putting it down. As we get into the bigger rounds, we'll talk more about some rep strategy. But after these 10 thrusters, we're now getting into these 10 burpees. And notice the hybrid method that twin 1 is using. She's jumping those legs back, but then stepping out of it. That's a good way to combine speed, but also managing that heart rate. And we've got Beatrice doing incline burpees, but then alternating the corner of the wall. So that's very creative. Always good to see our community coming up with creative solutions. And we've got Team DNA doing some lateral burpees and some incline burpees off camera. So lots of different options here. Everyone doing the version that is good for them. And after these 10 burpees, we're gonna get back to that bar and we're gonna start to attack a big set of 20. We may want to consider breaking this up, perhaps maybe a 10-6-4 rep scheme or a 9-7-4 if that's better for you. But let's get at least 8 to 10 thrusters out of the gate here without stopping. And then we can break off the rest of that set in littler and littler chunks. But nice work here, guys. Taking a deep breath before each rep, breathing out at the top, getting the full range of motion all the way down, all the way up. And let's remember, as we press that bar back, we press our head through. Let's keep a nice straight bar path there. Let's keep our midline nice and engaged. Much better DNA. Pressing the head through, pressing the arms back at the top. Look, great work here. Once again, highly recommend breaking up this set of 20 at least once or twice. We could make the choice to do all 20 unbroken, but then that's definitely going to affect those burpees for most of us. So let's be smart about our pacing and rep scheme here. Strategic breaks, couple breaths, right back on it. And we are getting through these thrusters. And it looks like we've got Team DNA already on this set of 20 over the bar burpees. Beatrice joining in as well. So nice pacing so far. Everyone getting through these thrusters. Nice deep breaths, full depth, full lockout. And twin one. Taking a breather, then about to finish that set. But awesome work so far. Let's keep moving. Let's go. We got Mighty Mouse joining in on these burpees as well. Great work here, guys. Twin one, just a couple more thrusters to go. And then boom, drop it into these burpees here. Still managing that pace, knowing that we've got the round of 30 to go after this. But good speed and good step out of it. Everyone managing that heart rate, managing the breathing. Breathing is the name of the game today. The thrusters, definitely very taxing on that breathing. You know, it's a constant balance between bracing through the move, but then breathing through big sets. And the combination of the thrusters with the burpees definitely is going to test that. But we're picking a nice steady pace, sticking with it. And it looks like we've got Team DNA now onto this round of Dirty 30. I kind of like a 8-7-6-5-4 strategy on the thrusters. Once again, following that principle of big chunk, little chunk, starting out with a bigger set and then going progressively smaller. And Beatrice as well, picking up that bar. Mighty Mouse picking up that bar. Just a couple more burpees left for twin one. And so far, everyone here is on track to finish within today's target window. And these target windows are the best guide to challenge ourselves appropriately in these workouts and to manage our progress. And we use the target windows when we're deciding what weights to use, what movements to do. As we know, we've got lots of different options of movements, different divisions of challenge, whether it's scaled, intermediate, or RX. But as long as we're picking the weights and doing the moves that allow us to finish within the target window, that's how we know we got the intended stimulus of the workout, and we continue to improve and get better with time. As we get tired on these thrusters, it's easy to lose that midline there, but let's remember, Anita, let's keep bracing that core. Let's keep those elbows up. There we go. Let's keep that chest up, elbows up on the squat. And let's punch those arms back more, punching the head through. Twin one about to jump in on these thrusters here in this round of 30. In this Dirty 30, once again, I kind of like an 8-7-6-5-4 strategy to get through a set of 30. Just enough push, just enough rest to help us to mentally get through it. But big breaths each time. It's the oxygen. It's all about that breathing. We're getting low. We're pressing it out. We are getting through this, guys. Steady breathing, getting low, pressing that out. It's also a scientific fact when you've got a nice, well-groomed beard like Iron Man Dean over there, it adds to your stamina and your strength. But here we go. Let's keep breathing. Managing that pace. Getting low on those squats. And let's really sit back on the heels as we get into the bottom part of that thruster there. We don't want to rock forward onto the toes, so we're initiating by getting those hips back, sitting all the way down, keeping that weight off the toes on these thrusters. And just like that, we've got Beatrice racing to the finish on these last burpees here. We've got the last set of 30. Beatrice choosing to up the challenge and hit some burpees off the ground now. We got Mighty Mouse as well, racing through this last set of burpees. Iron Man Dean with a couple more thrusters. Twin One with a couple more thrusters. So let's breathe through it. Let's do it. Let's get low. Let's press that out. All the way down, all the way up. And we've got Team DNA doing some synchro burpees here on this last set. And that's an added benefit of positive peer pressure. It's like, hey, I don't want to slow my partner down, so let me move through these burpees. Just a couple more breathers from Twin One, and then gonna close out this set of 30. But we know what to do as we finish. We hit that buzzer, we yell time, we cheer on our family. So let's get through it. Finishing some burpees, finishing this last set of thrusters here. Almost there. Let's keep our head up. Let's keep moving. Let's keep breathing. Let's keep that core nice and tight. And we've got Anita on that victory dance. Just a couple more burpees for Dean. Mighty Mouse on that victory dance. Almost there, guys. Dean. Just a couple more breaths. Beatriz on these last couple burpees here. And let's cheer them on, guys. This is not an easy one. These reps are going up, but then we are attacking it. Twin One attacking.
You got this, guys. You got it.
Set of burpees here. This is where we want to challenge ourselves to go faster on the last burpees. Dean almost there. Beatrice across the finish line, hitting that victory dance.
You got this.
And let's cheer them on, guys. They are racing to the finish. Still on track to finish within the window. There goes Dean. There goes Twin One.
You got this.
Almost there, guys. Pushing that pace. Finishing this race. Getting through these burpees, getting down, getting back up. That's why burpees are such a great metaphor for life. We don't stay down, we get back up, we keep moving. Moving nice and steady, but pushing that pace just a little bit. This is the last set of 30. Doing what we gotta do. Racing to finish within the window. Just a couple more burpees for Iron Man Dean, and there he goes into his favorite victory dance over there. And let's cheer on Twin One here, guys. Just a couple more burpees left. Let's send her some victory dance vibes.
Can do
Let's send
it.
her a victory
Go,
dance. Mighty Mouse sending her a victory dance.
go. Go,
Dean
Queen.
giving his thumbs up over there.
You got this.
Woo.
Just a couple more burpees for twin one. Let's push. Let's go. Racing to the finish.
Go,
Diving
Queen.
down, stepping out,
You can do it.
jumping over.
Go, go, go.
Deep breaths here. Deep breaths. Deep
Yeah, you
breaths.
got
Let's
this.
push.
You got it.
Stepping through it. Just a couple burpees left for twin one. And there she goes, right under the window time. Man, that is always super exciting to see. Always appreciate the hustle that you guys bring. And no matter what options that we picked, we all got that same awesome workout. And now we're at the best part, which is the cool down stretch. This stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do is the child's pose stretch. And that's going to be where we get those arms out in front of us, hips back, and we're sinking into this stretch like this. Optionally, if we've got something we can elevate our arms up on top of and sink into it like this, that's even better. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're going to get those arms up and pull back like this. And while we're doing this, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in today's workout? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about today's workout? While we're thinking about it, let's switch here into the puppy dog. So we've got those arms out in front of us, but now we're going to shift the hips over the knees, chest into the ground. Great stretch for the upper back. And while we're here, let's hear from twin one. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get those hands down to the shoulder blades and pull back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, twin one?
So my high was thinking about those people that inspire me. Mighty Mouse, it's incredible because that water was tough. And I know people like them, they push themselves, you know? So I'm like, if they could do it, I could do it. The low was, man, my energy level was a little low today. So I was struggling a little bit to push through that. I didn't go as fast as I wanted to. And then my buffalo was that I finished it because I really wanted to just quit. But everyone cheering, everyone pushing me helped a lot.
And that's the challenge. That's why every once in a while we throw these ascending ladder workouts in there, because we know it's a mental challenge, but we also know that we can get through it together. Let's go ahead and switch to thread the needle. So we've got one arm forward, other arm through, and we're sinking into this stretch like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting the one arm across the chest and pulling back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
I would say my high was the thrusters, and then my low, I didn't have a low, but the buffalo was that round of 30 for each movement, especially the burpees. I never had to take a break, break down the burpees like that. So I was even tired when it came to them. So it was a good workout overall.
And yep, you attacked that like a pro. You strategized well, and that worked out well for you. And so good job, Mighty Mouse. And let's go ahead and hit the thread the needle on the other side. So we got the other arm forward, other arm through, and we're sinking into this like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from DNA. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're getting the other arm across the chest, pulling across like this. But what is your high-low buffalo DNA?
So my high was the thrusters. The low, I haven't done a workout for over a month now because, you know, I was in hospital and, you know, it took me a long time before I got my strength back. And because of that, I had to go back to very basics. I didn't have any weights on the barbell. I did incline burpees, but I was able to do the workout like that, going back to the basics like that. And the buffalo that I was able to do the last 10 burpees from the floor. And I was really happy with that.
So my high was just how easy the workout was. My low was that I had to break out the set of 30s for the thrusters and stuff. So and the burpees nearly killed me at the end there doing 30. But Anita was shouting at me, you know, he encouraged me. So it's always good to have somebody shouting at you, encouraging you. The buffalo, I don't know, I survived. Who knows?
Gotta love that tough love, right? But both of you guys are so inspiring, and thank you for your great example, Anita, in making smart choices, coming back after some time off, and doing what you needed to do to stay safe and move well. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. Let's go ahead and hit this sweaty selfie. Because does this count if we don't take this selfie? Let's flex on the camera here, guys, and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fists in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Fit crew. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoy this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.